Hey guys, short history on the 80s, a very important era for the Fender musical instruments company, I should say. But it starts, of course, with the fact that CBS purchased Fender in the mid 60s, and after that they had Fender for 20 years. But the change from CBS to the Fender Musical Instruments Company started in 1979 under new management, which was brought in from Yamaha, American management, with one of the names that you probably have heard if you're interested in Fender's history, Dan Smith. But it started with the very heavy 1979 anniversary Stratocaster, because in 1979 the Stratocaster had its 25th birthday. And as you know, the Stratocasters from the 70s have the 3-point connection for the neck and big headstock, of course. But before 1979, the Stratocaster was only available in one model a year. There was just the 1972 Stratocaster, the 1975 Stratocaster, etc. This is actually the first special Stratocaster made in production in a Porsche silver finish, which has in the 40 years plus of its existence has turned into a greenish color, as you can see. Actually, the first ones were finished in white, but the finish was so poorly done that they all were returned to the factory to be resprayed in Porsche silver. So if you come across a white one, that one was probably not returned to the factory and is therefore even more rare than this one. Only 10,000 of these were made, as you can see on the back plate. They are numbered from first two numbers of the serial are 25, and after that you have the series numbers, which consists of 4 digits. All right, 1979 Stratocaster, first movement back to the original one with the 4-bolt neck plate, still with the large headstock, by the way. All right, so from 1979 we move up, because in 1980 they started making another special model. So probably they liked what they did with the 79 anniversary model, this one. So they made the maybe even heavier, the Strat. It says on the headstock only Strat. A very exclusive model actually, because of the gold plated hardware. So it's all brass hardware on the guitar, but it's really actually plated with real gold. Also on the headstock. This is a later model in 1983, I think. What is it? Oh, 1982. The first models from the 1980s don't have the gold tuners because they couldn't supply them in those days. So the first ones also have a red one. They have the chrome tuners on that. So real gold-plated hardware. Again, back to the 4-bolt neck plate, also gold-plated. And what's also special is that the bottom switch is not a tone switch, but it is a 2-way switch, which adds 4 extra switch possibilities. So this 5-way switch with the 2-way switch actually makes it a 9-way switch. So 9 switch possibilities with the pickups. This is a kind of a rare model because the normals were made in Candy Apple Red, in Lake Placid Blue, and in Arctic White. but this is an Olympic white version. So you have also a few special colors that are available, probably because people ordered them. So what does it sound like? On the neck position, I won't bother you with all the positions because 9 of them will be a very long video. Okay, well, you get the picture. So, 1981, I think it was 1981, the before named Dan Smith, who was head of marketing, started with his trip down memory lane because he wanted to make guitars, Stratocasters, like they used to be made pre-CBS. So with the reintroduction of the, as you can see, smaller headstock, the 4-bolt neck, not with the crazy bullet-sized truss rod again on the neck position. So pretty much like they were. Even the saddles look like the old vintage ones. This one also comes with the X1 pickup, the slightly hotter pickup in the bridge position, 5-way switching, of course. So really a way back to the old Stratocaster, the original design of the Stratocaster. It's called the Dan Smith, not because it's really the Dan Smith, because the original name is the standard Fender Stratocaster standard, the first version. And this one actually sounds really jingly and bright, as you can hear. Really jingly. It actually invites you to play quite funky. So, the Dan Smith. Dan Smith and his colleagues of Fender later, but I'll tell you about it later, bought Fender. So after the very expensive The Strat, which was discontinued in 1983 because it was just too expensive to make, and the standard Dan Smith, which was made I think between 80 and 83, they came up with a model that was supposed to be cheaper to manufacture. So they came out with the Fender Stratocaster standard second version. And as you can see, small headstock, but already with the truss rod at the headstock, as you can also later see in the American standard, which I also have over there. Does not have the X1 pickup in the bridge. Does have a new tremolo system, the free flight system, and most importantly, it doesn't have a third knob, but instead of a third knob, there is the jack. So the jack input, which was one of the nice design features of the Stratocaster. So if you would stamp on your cord, on your cable, and you started moving on stage, you just pulled out the cord, and your guitar wouldn't break, or your cable wouldn't break. But in this case, it's back on the one-ply pickguard. This guitar was only made between July of 83 and January of 85, so it was not a big success. So they are quite rare. They're not too expensive, and although this really looks awkward on a Stratocaster, it plays kind of nice. It has a 12-inch radius, so quite a flatter radius than normal. big slab board of rosewood on it. Really, really quite big. Can't get that anymore. And like I said, it's not on tune. And if you want to play Hendrix, no problem with this guitar. Made in ivory, I think. Yeah, ivory. So this one is Olympic white, this one is ivory, and this one, that's the next one I'm going to show you, and then I'm finished, is the, well, what was, oh, no, I have to start at the right point. 1985, so just when this guitar got out of commission, it was, you couldn't buy it anymore, was the year that Fender was bought from CBS by management. So management, which came in around 1979 when this guitar was made, bought Fender, the name Fender, and that was also the moment that they left the Fullerton factory and started a new factory in Corona. So this one is still made in Fullerton, and this one has been made in Corona. Not Corona the virus, but Corona the city. This is the then new American standard, which was produced from 1987, this is an 88 model, until 2000, so which is a very long period for a Stratocaster to be in the same model. It has a new bridge with the block saddles, of course, 4-bolt neck with the Fender logo on it, and this is actually an early model, which you can see on the serial. The serial says E4, like it's in 84, but they actually just used the numbers when they stopped making this one, and just started with those numbers. And only from, I think, 89 they started numbering again from E9, so 89. But actually, as you can see on the pots of this guitar, this is an 88 guitar. Really nice guitar, very successful for Fender. And after that, well, everybody knows what happens after that. We got all the special kinds of Fender guitars, and nowadays it's nearly impossible to buy everything that they make, all the special ones. So. Um, 4.5 kilos. 4.5 kilos. That's even heavier than a Les Paul. 3.5 kilos. So in 88, in almost 10 years, they also lost some weight. So I think they quit doing the very, very heavy guitars. So I hope you liked this video. Check out my website where all my Stratocasters can be found and can be bought. Neverenoughstrats.com. See you.